Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to News at Noon. News at Noon is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. I'm News Director Lee Pye here today with Dan Quagliana, Brock Papke, Sara Lodespoto, Joshua Ribakove, and Chloe Kowalyk. With this top of the hour update, we'll bring you the latest on SUNY Fredonia's campus news and events, sports, weather, music, as well as national and international news. First up, let's go to the event bulletin for this week. Fredonia Radio Systems is taking over the ice rink on our annual Rock and Skate fundraising event. There will be raffles, activities, food, as well as being able to skate on ice. The Legacy Show High Noon Friday is celebrating its 40th year anniversary by having an 80s theme for the event. Get all groovy on the ice rink in Steel Hall on February 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's it for the information through the grapevines. Next up, we'll bring it to Dan for our latest campus news updates.
Individual sessions, all beginning at 3 p.m., will be held on the following dates: Tuesday, February 20th, Tuesday, March 5th and 19th, April 2nd and 16th, and May 7th. Meetings are free and open to stroke and head injury survivors and their families. That's it for campus news. Now let's send it back to Lee.
Thanks, Dan. Next up, we have local news. Just as predicted, Fredonia's boil water order has ended. Mayor Mike Ferguson reported on Facebook that the order has been lifted on Sunday morning. He also said to run the water for a few minutes before using the water from the faucets again. The chlorine pump was replaced on Thursday. Quote, the domestic water pump in the facility failed. This pump circulates the water through a water heater into the bottom of our chlorinators by the way of a spraying unit, which then dissolves chlorine pellets to make the disinfectant, end quote. State police at Fredonia are investigating a shooting that took place on Saturday afternoon. In a news release issued this morning, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation responded to Brooks TLC Hospital for a 20-year-old male with multiple gunshot wounds. It is believed that the individual was taken to the facility by a private vehicle. The victim was transported to the Erie County Medical Center in Buffalo and is in guarded condition. The State Police Forensic Identification Unit assisted in this ongoing investigation, which occurred in the town of Dunkirk in the area of the Lakeside Trailer Park. During the early evening hours, yellow tape has been placed around the location. No further details are available at this time, police say, and no charges have been announced. If anyone has any information, contact the state police at 585-344-6200. This is an ongoing criminal investigation. That's it for your local news update. Let's take it to some sports with Brock.
Thanks, Lee. In local sports, the men and the women basketball teams both lost to Plattsburgh this past Saturday. The women's basketball team lose with 59-51, and the men's lost 78-66. They soon will face Oleanta this incoming Friday at Oleanta. That's it for local sports. Here's some national news. The Super Bowl happened last night, and here's a quick recap. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers in overtime, 25-22, after a really intense game of football. As the fourth quarter was coming to an end, both teams were neck and neck at 19-19. As overtime came and went, the 49ers had a little lead with a field goal just for Patrick Mahomes to throw a touchdown pass to Hardman, winning it all. That's your sports update. Let's send it to Sara for the weather.
Now, here is your Northern Chautauqua weather update brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hey y'all, today's looking a bit nicer than this weekend since we got a light cloud cover with a high of 42. Actually, speaking of the weekend, Usher sang my favorite dance song during the halftime show. I was singing every lyric. So yes, I am mad that Matt Volz went to the Super Bowl, but whatever, congrats. Matt, even though it's water under the bridge, the water might be a little icy due to tonight's dropping temperatures into the low 30s and a light coat of snow. The snow continues for a bit in tomorrow morning, but besides that, we get the trifecta of cold 37 degrees, strong wind speeds, and a high cloud coverage. Walking to class is going to be a pain, so that's for sure. Guaranteed that one person you see walking to class is going to be me, especially later into that windy evening, descending to the upper 20s and mostly cloudy skies. That's it for your 2-day weather. Keep listening, and I'll be back with your 5-day forecast. For now, let's take it to Lee for a local music update.
A show is happening at BJ's in downtown Fredonia. Last Call Entertainment is hosting Deluxe, Bone Machine, Garden Closet, and Spooky Visions. Come to BJ's at 51 West Main Street, Fredonia on Thursday, February 15th. Doors are at 9 p.m. and music is at 10 p.m. That's all I have for music news this week. Let's bring it to Josh for national and international news.
This morning, the Israeli military announced that they have rescued 2 hostages from the Gaza city of Rafah. Heavy airstrikes hit the city throughout the night, with hospital officials in Gaza claiming that the strikes took the lives of at least 67 people. According to an official statement from the Israeli military, quote, "This was a complex rescue operation under fire in the heart of Rafah, based on highly sensitive and valuable intelligence," end quote. The 2 hostages they rescued have been identified as Fernando Simon Marman and Louis Har, and both had been kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th from the Yitzhak kibbutz. Israel says that over 100 hostages are still being held in Gaza since the October 7th attacks. Also this morning, the Senate is attempting to move a $95.34 billion package containing aid for Ukraine and Israel, a package that has been delayed for several months now. Even if the Senate does pass this package, it will still depend on the House of Representatives to approve the passage of this colossal aid. Yesterday, Senate voted 67-62 to move the aid as Majority Leader Chuck Schumer stated, quote, "Our friends abroad are watching closely as we vote in the upcoming days. Ukrainian fighters are watching, and you can be sure Vladimir Putin is watching the Senate too," end quote. However, the bill is not without opposition, with some Senate Republicans insisting that they should shut off aid to Ukraine, insisting that such aid should go to hardening the U.S. border to Mexico in order to stop the undocumented flow of immigrants. Yesterday, a woman in a trench coat brought a long gun to the Texas megachurch of celebrity pastor Joel Osteen, opening fire shortly before the 2 p.m. Spanish service. The lady entered the Lakewood church with a 5-year-old boy who was hurt in the crossfire as 2 off-duty officers returned fire. Authorities have not yet released the identities of anybody involved in the shooting, but the suspect of the shooting was killed, and 2 other people were shot and wounded, including the child. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner says that the woman told the officers after being shot that there was a bomb, but a search did not find any explosives. That does it for today's national and international news. Now let's bring it back to Sarah for the rest of this week's weather forecast. Sarah?
Hey y'all, Wednesday is capitalism's favorite holiday, known as Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, for my little lovebirds, the weather isn't feeling the romance as we enter 32 with overbearing clouds. Just for y'all's info, I'm very happy with no Valentine. However, I am upset that I don't have a partner to help slip notes into couples' pockets saying you deserve better. I'll grab some popcorn and we could watch the drama unfold as the clear evening shifts to 25. Even though it was fairly nice last week, Thursday likes to remind us that we're still in wintertime as we get a cloudy day with spots of rain, or possibly snow, in the upper 30s. However, to make it a little more positive, a fun fact about pandas is that even though they're large bears, baby pandas are born pink and are about the size of a pencil. Isn't that cute? Before I start a mini rant on pandas, we get some snow as it dips to the upper 20s. Last but not least, we have Friday with the gloomy cloud cover and a high of 32. With such a sad-looking day, I'm glad we have the day off so I can snuggle with my stuffed animals and watch some comedies. What a perfect day, am I right? It would be even better if I can go to bed early, since the evening holds snow various times throughout the night as it descends to the upper 20s. That's it for your 5-day forecast. Let's take it right back to Lee.
That'll wrap up for today's edition of News at Noon. Campus News is written and read by Dan Quagliana. Local news for this broadcast is prepared by Lee Pye. Weather is presented by Sara Lodespoto. Sports is presented by Brock Papke. Music is prepared by Lee Pye. And National International News is prepared by Joshua Ribakove. And finally, board operations for this broadcast are performed by Kowalyk. Thanks for tuning in to News at Noon. Join us every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. From all of us at Fredonia Radio Systems, have a lovely day.